Alright, welcome back to Flight Sim 2020. In today's video, we are back in the PMDG B738 and we are going to be doing a real-world flight today. This is Safair 312 and we're parked at the ramp in Durban at King Shaka, and we're going to be flying from here in Durban, obviously, up to Lanseria in Johannesburg. Now, this is going to be the first flight on the channel where I showcase SLC, so self-loading cargo. I've been using this for a couple of weeks now since the big update, and I must say I'm super impressed and I'm really enjoying it. So we're going to be using both SLC and FS2Crew today. FS2Crew I've got off on the side on my other screen, but I will keep SLC on the main window so you can see what's going on there. So we're parked cold and dark on the ramp. I've done my Simbrief flight plan, all of that is ready to go. So all that's left is for us to start up the flight and then get going. Okay, so let's tell FS2Crew that we are ready to start setting up, and then we will start configuring self-loading cargo as well. Let's start setting up.
Roger.
Okay, now I do believe that you can use voice commands with self-loading cargo, or they're planning to implement it in future updates. I'm not using that at the moment. I'm just doing voice commands with FS2Crew, and it's going to be purely using the interface with SLC for now. Obviously, we will move on to the voice commands with this in the future, but for now it's just going to be the interface. Okay, so this is all fine. We've got single class, like so, and we're going to import that from our Simbrief plan. Okay, that's correct, that's correct. And now what I normally do is just play with the times here to make sure that we have enough time to get everyone boarded. So FS2Crew takes 30 minutes. 25 is too short, so we'll set this to 30 minutes, and let's get started with that. Okay, actually going to play a movie, and we don't have any Wi-Fi available. I don't know if we can actually edit this. Doesn't seem like we can. We can leave that on because it doesn't really matter at this point anyway. And let's go ahead and start.
Ground to cockpit. Go ahead. Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please. You're loud and clear. 5 over 5. Okay, Captain. Radio check is complete. We'll contact you when we're ready to start loading. Hello.
Hi, Captain. How are you this evening?
Hi there. I'm fine, thanks. Roger.
Great. We're just preparing the cabins for the passengers. We'll speak to the terminal staff once the door is open and find out how long they think it will be until boarding begins.
No worries. You can open the doors whenever you're ready.
No problem.
Okay, we're gonna go set up our weight and balance here so long. So fuel today is 6679.
Ground to cockpit.
And our payload is 0 fuel weight 55.8.
Go ahead. Hi there. We're now refueling the aircraft and we'll let you know once it's completed. Roger. Ground to cockpit. Go ahead. Hi, Captain. Fueling has been completed. Roger.
Okay, we can go dial in our route for today. So King Shaka up to Lanseria, and we are Safair 312.
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so I've spoken to security and they've started checking in, but there's around another 10 minutes to go before we expect to be seeing any passengers.
Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Okay, let's open up the flight information so we can keep an eye on what's happening. So we expect it to board in about 7 minutes, and they're going to start loading the baggage onto the aircraft in about 1 minute.
I'm out for the walk around.
Yeah, he's going out for the walk around. That's FS2Crew. Right, we're going to Greytown. Except we're not, because I put that the wrong way around. So Greytown. Definitely not Guadalcanal. UZ29. To Standerton. And then direct to the Lanseria VRR, which we will probably be vectored away from anyway. Okay, departure for today. We are departing runway 6 and on the Greytown 1 Alpha. And arrival into Lanseria is ILS 7, like so, with vectors to get there, I believe. Okay, let's just go and put in our IRS position. Okay, that's all set. Okay, zero fuel weight today, 55.8. Reserves will be 1. Cost index is 7. And we are cruising at 360 today. Right, winds 270 at 30. Outside is minus 49.
Ground to cockpit. Go ahead.
And our transition altitude is 10,000 feet.
Hi Captain, just a quick update to let you know that we've started loading. We'll contact you again once we're done. Roger.
Okay, so we can set our V2 to 145 so long. We can't do that because I need flight directors. And we can dial this straight up to 36,000. Yeah, the other thing I'm going to do is turn on some lights here, because it is afternoon, so it's only going to be getting darker. It should actually be okay.
Hi, the security and safety checks are all done. Are we good to start boarding?
Go for it.
Thanks.
It's cloudy down here in Durban, but it's actually completely clear up in Joburg at the moment. But we'll turn these on anyway. Right, then I think we've pretty much been through everything here. Trim 5.2. Which is about there. Okay, let's go to our charts. Right, weather looks good for the departure. 1 knot crosswind, 1 knot headwind. And no wind in Lanseria, or in Joburg at Lanseria, to be expected. Okay, our taxi out is going to be nice and simple. So, we are on the stand over here, and we're departing runway 6. Very, very simple, short taxi, apron, Charlie, hold short, runway 06. Okay, so it's Greytown 1 Alpha, which is basically at LE15. We do a left turn to LE3CF and then direct to Greytown. Max 220 until established on track to Greytown. So let's actually just come down here and see if we have anything like that programmed in. Max 220 until we're heading there, that's perfect. So if we had ATC, our initial climb would be 7,000 feet. Transition alt is actually 5,500, so I need to change that. Okay, so Lanseria, we're expecting to come in runway 7, and then we'll probably vacate. It could be full length, maybe Alpha 2, depending on our approach. It's probably going to be full length, and we'll taxi into the apron a moment there. We might as well go and set up our approach while we are here, and it will be the ILS runway 7. So maybe we should actually take that transition. It just extends it a little bit. So I think we're going to do that. And what I'm actually going to do is take out the Lanseria VOR. We won't fly to
Hi,
that.
Captain. The terminal staff are ready to send the passengers down. Can we start boarding?
Yes, you can start boarding if you're ready.
Excellent. We'll get started then, and I'll let the rest of the crew know we're ready. It might take a few minutes for the passengers to start arriving though. All stations prepare to start boarding.
Okay, so we'll go direct from Standerton to join the ILS. Okay, so that's our departure brief, pretty much. Very simple taxi, and then we're following a very simple Greytown 1 Alpha departure. Position level is set.
Slide slow.
And we can also just come in here.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear. Terrain, terrain. Pull up. Airspeed full. Airspeed full. Sink rate. Pull up. Terrain. Pull up. Don't sink. Don't sink. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Gear. Too
Okay,
low.
master lights are tested.
Too low. Terrain. Glide slow. Bank angle. Bank
That's all
angle.
set.
Approaching minimums. 500. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear.
Parking brake is
Too low.
set.
Terrain. Caution. Terrain.
And trims are set for takeoff, so I think we're pretty much good to go.
Terrain. Terrain.
Waiting
Pull
for the
up.
first officer to finish his pre-flight procedure. And then we'll obviously go ahead and start doing some of our checks and wait for the passengers to finish boarding.
TCAS test. Pass.
Yeah, what's kind of cool with the SLC is we can open up the passenger manifest and we can actually have a look and watch the passengers boarding and see them take a seat and see the flight crew also kind of moving around and doing their thing. We can see in different views here, so I normally use
Thanks.
the satisfaction, so they show up in different colors depending on how satisfied they are. Excellent flight so far, and we can always click on an individual passenger to see what they are currently feeling. So they're nice and comfortable and happy. The health thing isn't implemented yet. That's going to come later, I believe, when we have things like medical emergencies and stuff like that implemented. Okay, but we can probably start with our checklist now. Pre-flight checklist.
Pre-flight checklist. Oxygen.
Tested 100%.
Tested 100%. Navigation transparent display switches. Normal auto. Window heat on. Pressurization mode selector. Auto. Flight instruments.
Altimeter 1023.
Heading 334. Altimeter 1023. Parking brake.
Set.
Engine start lever.
Cut off.
Pre-flight checklist completed.
So one thing we are going to get marked down for on SOC is the fact that we didn't warn the ground crew
Cockpit to ground.
about starting the APU, but in this aircraft I've got FS2Crew set up so that the first officer starts the APU straight away.
Go ahead.
See, so we should have told him that.
We're starting the APU,
But
please stand
the
by.
APU is
We'll be
already
disconnecting
running.
from ground power shortly.
Before we get the chance to actually
We'll
speak
monitor
to
the
them.
startup from down here and
So-
let you know if we see anything untoward.
One of the things I would
Roger.
like to see in the SLC is the option to actually say we're starting without ground power and going straight onto the APU so that we don't get that penalty each time. Otherwise, I guess what I should do then is just start SLC before FS2Crew and then
Ground to cockpit. Go ahead. Loading has been completed. We're sending the load sheet up to you now.
okay, so that's all the bags on
once you're
board.
closed up and the beacon light is switched on. Roger. Hello.
Hi, Captain. Okay, we've received the load sheet from ground. There's the passenger count, the crew count, and the total souls count. Plus yourselves, of course.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay, give me a call once you're ready and we'll get underway.
No problem.
Are you ready for the departure brief?
Go ahead.
Okay, it's going to be a standard pushback and start off again. Taxi will be assigned by ATC. It'll be a left seat takeoff. Using an assumed temperature, planning a flaps 5 takeoff. Anti-ice will be off. Standard project actions to V1 as briefed. From V1, or if the call is to continue, I will continue the takeoff as per the standard company procedures. We are above our maximum landing weights, so we're okay to make an immediate return. The departure routine will be via ATC assigned SID, comply with all the published speed and altitude restrictions. We'll use NADP1. LNAV and VNAV are armed. Flight directors are on. Mine is master, yours is slave. Navigation radios are set, the NOTAMs and the aircraft defect log have been reviewed. The current weather poses a threat, so we won't rush any procedures today. Any questions, comments, concerns?
No questions.
Departure brief complete.
Okay, so now we're pretty much just waiting for the passengers to finish boarding. We're still expected to depart in about 11 minutes, so we should be fine. Because then, once they're on board, we can switch on the beacon lights. That will trigger the ground crew to connect, ready to push us back. We're going to use SLC today for pushback and see how that goes. I haven't tried it on the PMDG, but we can't do the before start checklist until we've got the beacon light on, because that's part of the check.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board this self-loading cargo service. Please place your large bags into the overhead locker walls first, and keep your small items under the seat in front of you. These include laptops, handbags, duty-free and loose items of clothing. Once you have safely stowed your cabin bag, please take your seat. To help us ensure a prompt departure, we would kindly ask that you keep the aisle clear, enabling all remaining customers to board. Your seatbelt can now be fastened ready for departure. This is a no-smoking service. Thank you for observing this policy.
Okay, so we've just about got everyone on board.
Hi guys, here's the load sheet for you.
Thank you.
No problem, have a safe flight.
Ladies and gentlemen, whilst we make our final preparations for departure, I would like to introduce you to our safety procedures. Please make sure that your hand luggage doesn't block the aisle.
So this is an issue, is that both FS2Crew and SLC do these cabin announcements, so I might actually end up turning off the FS2Crew ones, because I don't think you can turn off the ones in SLC anyway.
Please be careful. Anything heavy in the overhead lockers and please mind
Hello.
Hi, Captain. Just to let you know that everyone's on board.
and the safety of those
All right.
around.
You can close the doors whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'll let the crew know and we'll get closed up as soon as we can.
May interfere with aircraft.
All stations ready to close.
Okay, so I've turned off FS2Crew's ones. We'll let SLC do its thing for now and see how that goes. Right, so they're closing up. Let's go ahead and turn on the anti-collision light.
Ground to cockpit. Go ahead. Call me when you require pushback. We're all set, so feel free to get connected and start when ready. Roger. Ground tow is connected. Roger.
Before start checklist.
Stand by.
Okay, so he can do his flow. We need to have
Ground to
this
cockpit.
on takeoff.
Go ahead. Just a reminder, if you're using software to track your virtual airline flights, you might want to
That's a
start the
very
ground
helpful
already.
message.
Roger. Ground to cockpit. Go ahead. Tow is connected. Release parking brakes when ready to push back. Roger.
Before start checklist.
Before start checklist. Flight deck door closed and locked. MCP.
Altitude 360.
Takeoff speeds.
B2145.
CDU pre-flight.
Completed.
Rudder and aileron trip.
Set and checked.
Taxi and takeoff briefing.
Completed.
Anti-collision light on. Before start checklist completed.
Start sequence is 2 then 1.
Check.
Okay, we'll just welcome the passengers and I think we're good to go.
Good evening from the cockpit. This is your captain speaking. I'd like to welcome you on board this evening's flight. I hope you're all well. We're currently preparing for departure up here in the cockpit, and once we're airborne, we'll be climbing to our cruise level of 36,000 feet. We hope to depart very shortly. We're not expecting any delays. Once we push back from the stand, the cabin crew will start securing the cabin. As we head to the departure runway, please make sure you're seated and secured as they make their way around the aircraft. The weather is looking good, so it should be a nice, comfortable climb up to our cruise level. Once we're airborne, there shouldn't be any issue during our climb. It's a pretty straightforward departure out of the airport, so nothing to worry about there. It looks as though the en route winds are in our favour, so there shouldn't be any issue getting to our destination on time. However, we will keep you informed throughout the flight if there changes. The ground crew have finished loading the aircraft, so if you could get yourself seated and secured, we'll be able to get going straight away. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the flight.
Right, let's release the
Hey guys,
brakes.
all packs are on board. Are we clear to close?
Go for it.
Roger. Parking brake released. Roger. Tow is attached. Steering pin is inserted. Stand by while we start pushback.
Okay, we should start pushing now.
Preflight, here we go.
Right, there we go.
Cabin crew, please arm doors. Okay, Captain. We're clear of the stand and you're free to start engines. Starting engine 2. Roger.
Start engine 2.
Starting engine 2. Oil pressure. Starter cutout.
Please set your parking brake. Parking brake is on. Roger.
Number 2
Stand by.
stable.
Please keep your parking brake on while we monitor engine startup and disconnect the tow.
Brake set.
Roger. Starting engine 1. Roger.
Start engine 1.
Starting engine 1.
Steering pin is pulled. Watch for the salute and release guidance on your right. African flight.
Oil pressure.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make sure that the cabin crew have time to actually sit down or secure the cabin first of all and then take their seats for departure because it's such a short taxi, so we'll keep an eye on that. And we can tell that over here. So this is red, means they're not sitting. So the cabin's still not secured and they haven't taken their seats
Okay,
yet.
Captain. Looks like a good startup on all engines and tow is disconnected. Nose wheel is free, so you're good to go. We'll get ourselves disconnected now, so have a safe flight. Look out for the pin on the right, and we'll see you next time. Thanks very much. Pin on the right and we'll see you again soon.
Starter cutout. Number 1 stable.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on
Flaps
this
fire.
aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets and brace position, which you must adopt if you hear brace. Brace. There are 2 emergency exits at the rear,
Flight controls
4
check
in the
complete.
middle and 2 at the front of the cabin. Floor lighting will guide you to an exit. Please be aware that
Before
the
taxi
nearest exit
checklist.
may be behind you. In an
Before
emergency,
taxi
leave all
checklist.
cabin baggage
Generators
on.
on. Probe heat
Your
on.
seatbelt is
Anti-ice
fastened,
off.
adjusted
Isolation
and
belt
released to
auto.
show.
Recall.
It must be fastened when
Checked.
the seatbelt signs are on,
Checked.
and we
Auto
recommend
brake.
that you keep it
RTO.
fastened at all times.
Engine start lever.
If the air supply
Idle
fails,
detent.
masks will drop from
Flight
above.
controls.
Pull a mask
Checked.
towards you to start the
Ground
oxygen.
equipment.
Put
Clear.
the mask over your nose and
Clear.
mouth.
Before
Hold in
taxi
place with the
checklist
strap
complete.
and pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own
Clear
mask
left.
before helping others.
Clear right.
If we land on water, take the life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist, click together and pull the strap to adjust. Do not inflate it inside the aircraft. When outside, inflate by pulling the top off. If it fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into the tube. There is a light and whistle for attracting attention. We also carry flotation aids for children. Your tray table must now be stowed, armrest down, window blinds open and seatbelt fastened. We wish you a pleasant flight, and thank you for flying with self-loading cargo.
Before takeoff checklist.
Before takeoff checklist. Flaps.
Flaps 5, green light.
Stabilizer trim.
5.2 units.
Before takeoff checklist completed.
Okay, we should probably tell the cabin. They still haven't secured the cabin yet, so we've got to wait for them to let us know that they're done with that. So we might actually have to wait at the threshold here. Yeah, so we'll have to wait here. In case there were any aircraft that would need to go in front of us, they could taxi on that taxiway. Right, so if we look here, we should actually be able to see cabin crew right. So they're almost done. They've got the last 3 rows. These people are very unhappy. Bad flight. Really bored. Very bored. Well, that's your own problem. Not enjoying the in-flight magazine. Well, that's just unnecessary. Everyone's bleak because they're bored. Okay, so they're almost done. Okay, so let's get them to sit for takeoff.
Cabin crew, please take seats for takeoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, because this is a nighttime flight, for safety purposes, I have dimmed the cabin lights for takeoff.
Nighttime
this
flight?
This is a completely normal procedure, and they will be turned back on once we've completed our
Oh,
departure.
it's taking
Thank
the
you.
computer time instead of the sim time. Don't want to change that now because it's going to mess everything up. But that's something I need to change in the settings. Okay, this is probably going to make us late. We've got an hour and 26 minutes. Oh, an hour and 21 minutes to get to Lanseria, and that's doable though. Okay. Should be enough time for them to be seated, and that's gone green, so they are good to go. Runway entry procedure.
Okay. Cabin crew, take your seats. Clear on the approach. Cabin is still not secure.
So I don't know why FS2Crew always thinks the cabin's not secure with the PMDG. I don't know what I'm leaving out. That is the trigger for that. Takeoff.
Thrust set. $80 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate.
Gear up.
Gear up. $400 feet.
Select autopilot on.
Autopilot on.
Flaps 1.
Speed checked. Flaps 1 set.
Flaps up.
Speed checked.
Cabin crew, resume duties.
Flaps up set.
After takeoff checklist.
After takeoff checklist. Engine bleeds on. Backs. Auto. Landing gear. Up and off. Flaps. Up. No lights. After takeoff checklist complete. Happy to release the cabin crew?
Go for it.
Okay.
Transition set standard.
Standard set. Passing flight level 066. Now.
Right, but there we are, powering out of Durban King Shaka, and we should be punching through the top of the cloud layer shortly. It is a little bumpy, so maybe we'll let the passengers know.
Ladies and gentlemen, please keep your seatbelts fastened while the seatbelt.
Good evening once again from the cockpit. I hope all is well with you and you're enjoying flying with us so far. Just a quick broadcast to let you know that we will be keeping the seatbelt signs on for a few more minutes as there may be some light turbulence as we climb through the clouds. Keep an eye on the overhead panel, and as soon as we're clear I'll turn off the sign and you'll be able to move around the cabin. Thank you.
Selection of fresh food available today.
Happy to release the cabin?
Can be found in your in-flight brochure. You can also purchase a selection of hot beverages together with drinks and snacks from the bar. We accept payment in
so we'll
pounds,
keep
euros,
the
most major currencies, and
seatbelt
debit
sounds
or
on
credit
for a
cards.
bit.
The correct change would be greatly appreciated, and if we can be of any further assistance, then just ask us as we join you in the cabin shortly. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign, so you are now free to move around the cabin. However, for your safety, we do recommend that you remain seated with your belt fastened at all times during the flight. Thank you.
Okay, so I thought that was the case. It's not able to read the seatbelt sign in the PMDG by the looks of things. So we'd have to do it manually just by clicking there. And it's not ridiculously bumpy. We could just look over here and see, like, are people scared? So, anxiety. There's a couple of people a little bit nervous. Alright, but we're going to climb our way up to 36,000 feet and cruise on along to Lanseria. So I will join you when it's time to prep for our descent. Okay, so we're coming up to our top of descent now, so it's time to start prepping. I'm just checking the weather at Lanseria. Nothing has changed. We still have no wind reported at all, so we'll stick to our runway 7 arrival. You have control?
I have control.
Okay, so let's go in here, because we just need to find out. Oh, and also we need to let the cabin crew know. So I always mess this up because I'm recording time lapses of the cruise out the window. So top of descent, 1513, and it's currently oh geez, we're descending like right now, so.
Good evening once again from the cockpit. I hope you're enjoying the flight so far. We'll be starting our descent in just a few minutes. The arrival weather forecast is looking good, so it should be a nice easy approach into the airport. We're not expecting any delays, so we should be able to land fairly quickly. Once we do start our descent, please make sure to listen carefully to any instructions from our cabin crew and pay special attention to the seatbelt sign. Thanks very much for flying with us, and I'll speak to you again shortly.
Okay, missed approach is 8,000. And our final approach fix altitude 6,700.
Are you ready for the approach brief?
Okay.
The arrival routing will be via ATC vectors for an ILS approach. Planning a flaps 40 landing. Final approach fixed altitude is 6,700 feet. Decision altitude is 200 feet. Missed approach altitude is 8,000 feet. Taxi routine will be assigned by ATC. We'll be arriving at gate. Descent speeds and navigation radios are set, and all attempts have been reviewed. Any questions, comments, concerns?
No questions.
Approach brief complete.
I have control.
You have control.
Descent checklist.
Stand by.
This is going to take forever to scroll to 4,730 feet. Descent checklist.
Descent checklist. Pressurization. Landing altitude is 4,500 feet. Recall checked. Order brake level 2. Landing data.
Set and checked.
VREF 136. Minimum is 200 feet. Approach briefing.
Completed.
Descent checklist completed.
Set altitude 6,700.
6,700 set.
Okay, let's see how our descent goes, because on previous flights I had the passengers complain that we descended too steeply, but this seems to be pretty chilled. Bear in mind that wasn't with the PMDG, it was with the 787, where it just, you get to top of descent and it just tanks to like 6,000 feet a minute descent rate. This is doing, we're at just over 2,000 now, so this is kind of manageable. Yeah, so that should be fine, no issues there.
Good evening once again from the cockpit. As you've probably noticed, we've started our descent. We should be arriving in around 20 minutes depending on local air traffic, and I will shortly be instructing the cabin crew to get the cabin ready for our arrival. After that, the seatbelt sign will be illuminated and you'll need to stay seated until after landing. On that note, if you need to use a toilet, then you should try to visit one now as they will be closed during the approach. For now though, I will wish you a very good evening once again, and I'll speak to you in a short while once we've landed.
Okay, so the number one issue I've had is that the cabin crew doesn't have enough time to secure the cabin. So I normally ask them to do that around 15,000 feet, which gives them enough time, and then as we're kind of turning final, we ask them to take their seats.
Hello?
Sorry to bother you, Captain. I was just wondering if you'd like a drink.
No thanks.
No problem. Give me a call if you change your mind.
Okay, cool. It's maintaining a nice gentle descent, so that is perfect. Right, let's go down here and just see. So, Lanseria at 1538, that's 14, so 24 minutes, so let's say 25 minutes, and we need to be there in, that doesn't make any sense. We've still got just under an hour, so we should be more than okay, even though we left a little late. Okay, well that's good. Nice and clear over Joburg as expected. Okay, so we just passed through 15,000 feet. Let's get the cabin crew prepping.
Cabin crew, prepare the cabin for landing.
Cabin crew, prepare for landing.
And the QNH, I believe, is...
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray table must be stowed, armrest down and window blind open.
1023.
You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened ready for landing. Please help us by handing in any rubbish,
Transition set altimeter 1023.
The toilets are no longer in service. Thank you.
1023 set, passing 13,200.
Yeah, let's double check our frequencies then for landing.
Now.
So, 110.7, 66 degrees. Set 110.70 on nav 1.
Roger.
Set course on my side 066.
066 set.
Set 110.70 on nav 2.
Roger.
Set course on your side 066.
066 set.
Approach checklist.
Approach checklist. Altimeters.
1023 set.
1023 set. Approach checklist complete.
Yeah, so we're good to go. We're just gonna start introducing the flaps once we slow down and all of that. Perfectly clear day here in Johannesburg. An interesting building down there. I don't know what that is. Looks like a prison, to be honest. I don't see the airport just yet. Okay, I'm gonna bring some speed brakes in. Arm approach. Flaps 1.
Speed checked. Flaps 1 set.
Flaps 5.
Speed checked. Flaps 5 set. Radio altimeter alive. Cabin crew, take your seats. $1,000 to level.
Gear down, flaps 15.
Speed checked. Gear down.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. Everything is secured, ready for landing.
Thanks.
No worries. If you let me know when you're ready to land, I make sure
Flaps
I get
15
seated
set.
along with the rest of the crew.
I will. Cabin crew, seats for landing, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, because this is a nighttime flight, for safety purposes, I have dimmed the cabin lights ready for our arrival. Please don't worry, this is a completely normal procedure, and they will be turned back on once we've arrived on the ground. Thank you.
Flaps 30.
Speed checked. Final approach fix. Height checked. Missed approach. Altitude not set. Checked. Flaps 30 set.
Set altitude 8,000.
8,000 set.
Flaps 40.
Speed checked. Flaps 40 set.
Landing checklist.
Landing checklist. Speed brake.
Armed.
Landing gear.
Down.
Flaps.
Body green lights.
Landing checklist completed.
Cleared.
(1,000 feet). Stable. Autopilot off.
Five
500
hundred.
feet.
Approaching minimums. 300. 200.
Continue.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Speed brake up. Reverse is normal. (60 knots).
Ladies and gentlemen,
Okay, so that
the
was an
cabin
interesting
crew will
approach,
shortly
even
be leaving their
without
seats to
any
perform
wind apparently.
safety-related duties.
Really got
However,
pushed.
we ask that you remain
That
seated
says there's a
until the
little bit of
seatbelt
wind.
sign has been switched off.
But I mean, really got pushed
Portable
out to the
electronic
left.
devices for messaging, calls, or internet access.
I think
may
I
not
landed
be
a
used.
little bit firmer than I wanted
Please make
to,
sure
but I
that you
kind of
take
just
all
wanted
your
to get it
personal
down.
belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat, and in the overhead lockers.
I don't think it
Do
was
take care when
bad.
opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated smoking area. On behalf of the captain and the crew, it has been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your self-loading cargo journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information,
Alright,
check
but
out our
welcome
official
to
Facebook page,
Lanseria.
Twitter, or the official self-loading cargo app. Thank you.
Now we just have to taxi all the way back to the apron.
Cabin crew, please set doors to manual.
APU on the buses.
Okay, so this next turn here is the apron.
(3 minutes).
I lights and doors.
Check. Cabin crew disarm doors and cross-check.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated until the captain turns off the seatbelt sign. Once that happens, we will start deboarding and you'll be able to leave the aircraft. Thank you.
Okay, brakes are set, so we can go ahead and shut down the engines. We'll wait for them to finish spooling down, and then we will switch off the beacon and the seatbelt signs.
Ground to cockpit. Go ahead. Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please. Crystal clear. 5 out of 5. Roger. Cabin crew, the aircraft is secure. Please open the doors when ready. You're clear to begin deboarding. Okay, Captain. Ground power is available. Stand by. We'll start getting you offloaded in a couple of minutes. Roger.
Shutdown checklist.
Shutdown checklist. Fuel pumps off.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to wish you a safe onward journey and hope you enjoyed your flight today. Thanks for flying with us, and we hope to see you again soon.
Set.
Engine start leaving.
Cut off.
Weather
Ladies
radar.
and gentlemen,
Off.
your portable electronic
Off.
devices
Shutdown
must not
checklist
be used
complete.
until you are inside the airport. When disembarking, please take care and hold onto the handrails while walking down the stairs.
Secure the
Please ensure that
aircraft.
you supervise your children, and for your own safety, do not walk underneath the wing. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll let the passengers disembark and then we would shut down completely. So let's actually just go ahead and see. Okay, so minus 268. It's not bad. Good landing, 1.19 Gs. Okay, so we're just waiting for the last of the passengers to finish exiting the aircraft. There's 33 left. Right, but I'm really enjoying the self-loading cargo stuff. It's loads of fun. As always, the PMDG 737 is just incredible. But welcome to Johannesburg, Lanseria. And this is going to bring us to the end of today's flight. If you made it all the way to this part of the video, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, you know what to do down below, and I will see you in the next video.